Good morning. It's Disney Day. As soon as it would let me update, I was like, let's go. Sometimes I never know with this game. I had a really bad problem the last time we had an update where it like didn't fully update it. This is already a bad sign. I feel like the front page should have updated. Maybe not though. We'll find out. Last time I had to like clear my Steam cache to get it to update. I've never streamed this game before, obviously. And I don't really know how it streams. I feel like maybe it's not the best game to stream because I don't know. Um, okay. We do have a new quest. I assume my Dream Snap results are going to be in here. Don't judge me because I'm not great at them. And I also don't try very hard. So, okay, 1500. I'm like not mad at it. I don't even remember. Oh, this was like the rainbow, like Pride Day one.
Now that I know you're not dangerous, you humans are pretty great.
Okay. Okay, they fixed. There was a problem. I don't know if anybody leveled oh my god, Sully's so annoying. Um they made it so you could level up the friendship with the Forgotten, and I like grinded that out like first thing. Oh my god, Sully is so annoying. Um I grinded out for level 10 with the Forgotten and didn't get any of the rewards. So, but apparently I found out on Reddit that everyone had that issue. So, I'm interested to see what these are. Like you couldn't even really tell what they were. I think they're kind of cool wings. But my fear is that it's going to be a motif. So, we'll find out. Okay, so here's the start of the veil. I'm really bad about I just speed run this. I speed run all the updates. I usually have them done the same day. I'm gonna try to slow down and enjoy it a little bit more. We get so few updates with this game. So let's just try to enjoy it. A mysterious sickness is sweeping. Great. We all have COVID. Amazing. Come speak to me when you're ready. And that was signed the keeper. Okay. All right, the other things I want to fix. It is clothing. Yes. Oh my god, that's so cool. We have to wear that when we go meet Maleficent. What's like something that matches that? Oh my god. What matches this? I mean, obviously that a little bit. Oh, I kind of want something like black though. I mean, that's kind of boring, but it works. I mean, it's summer. Summer gown. We have the Sea Witch. I can't wait to see what clothes Maleficent is gonna come with. I feel like it's gonna be some baddie shit. Okay. That's good, probably. Hair. I feel like we need a crown first before we pick hair. Priorities. Don't look at the update. Just style your new wings. I mean, it's very important to be dressed appropriately in this game. And the funny thing is, probably the first thing it's gonna do is gonna be like, wear an ugly t-shirt, wear really ugly glasses to go do this quest. Okay, we have the Maleficent horns. We can do that. Oh, I kind of like it with this hair. Earrings. The daggers, obviously. anything else jumps out to me. I don't think it does. I don't know. I can't decide if I like it with this hair or not. I think I do, but is it like the best option? What's it look like with snake hair? Oh, you can't wear it with snake hair. That's just rude. I also play with my game music off. I don't know if that's, I don't know, kind of boring. I do have it so my VODs upload without Spotify playing, so we could just have Spotify going. Um, but turn it down maybe a little low. Turn it down a bit. If my husband's at work, obviously. Most people are probably at work on a Wednesday at 9 a.m. Um, but if he pops in, we can ask him how the sound is. This is the Disney ambient music from Spotify. It's kind of loud for me. For me. Okay. I think this is good. Need some batty nails. How's this look? That's not bad. Or that. I kind of like that better. Okay. I think we're ready. I do also want to look at the shop, probably. Oh, we need shoes. Oh, we can open this stupid thing, too. Garbage. Got it. Great. Thanks for the garbage. I feel like this game, earlier I was saying, like, I just don't feel like I know how this game will stream just because I feel like I go non-verbal with this game a lot. Like, I'm just speed running it. It does something to me. Mm. And I'm definitely not like a Disney person in general. I've never been to Disneyland, never been to Disney World. Like, I watched the movies as a kid, but it was just kind of like, ooh, you know, whatever to me. Oh my god. Oh my god. We need all of this. We need all of it. 8,000? 8,000? Okay, they do have it where you can break it up. We might need to just like sit on think on this. We might not yeah, we're gonna need that today. Yep. Um, so that I don't like impulse buy. I've bought like so many things in this game impulsively and then realized it was ugly or stupid or I would never use it. So this was that our recommended? Okay, there's no new moonstone packs. Oh, this is my recommended. I will never buy any of this Mad Hatter stuff. I hate it. I think it's so, I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't really love Alice in Wonderland to begin with. But this stuff is like, what's this hat though? I don't love that. Why does it look like that? Is that like a knight armor thing? Okay, I do like the dress. I like the cape. I expected to like the Maleficent stuff more. I don't know. It's interesting. It's different. It's not what I expected. So if you buy it as a bundle, it's not 10,000, it's 8,000. So they're giving you a little bit off instead of buying it separately. And the house skins are usually 3,000. Like that's pretty standard for what they charge for a house. I mean, everything's overpriced. That's Disney, you know, just in general. Okay. I'm gonna leave Nana equipped. Last update when we got companions, they introduced a bunch more tasks into the game, and it made my well go down a level, and so I like killed myself for like a week getting my level 5 well back. So I just got to keep grinding these companion tasks to make sure that we are solidly ready for any for the next DLC, I assume, because that's probably the next time we get any task that's gonna throw off that ratio. I think to get the level 5 well, you have to have like 90% of all the tasks done. So anytime it introduces those new tasks, you're gonna have to like start over. Okay, so I guess we're ready. You know, we need to, number one, fix my glider. Okay, okay. It's a little weird looking. And get our Maleficent tools. Okay. Okay, now I think. What was that? Oh. It's like barfing bark at me. Okay. We can go straight to the library. Yes, I figured you were working or lurking and working, Dave. If any of the sounds are weird that you can tell, let me know. I don't know if you have your headphones in. Okay. Talk to the Lord Keeper. That's this bitch right here. Okay. Challenge, don't skip the dialogue. Something has changed. And it wasn't a desire to improve the decor. The magic of the veil has changed the tapestry. The tale it now tells spells disaster. I don't think we need a reminder. Somebody posted last night a like synopsis in Reddit, so I feel fairly refreshed. Game's too quiet. I mean, that's a little sus, Emma. Um, Seems a little bot-like, so, yeah. Anyway, so let's progress. The particular tapestry reflects whatever is happening in the Vale. Long ago, it reflected peace, order, and quiet, all the things a proper library needs. Then it reflected Maleficent and Hades, their strife and struggle. Now it reflects disaster. The storybook veil is falling apart. I feel only you can put it back together. Okay, we'll turn up the game a little bit. Okay. Now it reflects disaster. The storybook veil is falling apart. I feel only you can put it back together. I'll do whatever I have to save the veil. I have no doubt that you'll bear the burden of being the hero of this story well. And if I may add, I'm certain you'll look exceptionally stylish while doing it. I mean, we tried before we even got over here. Uh, I don't want to be reminded. This seems bad. How do I fix it? It's a hint of what's to come. A sickness is sweeping over the vale, afflicting the villagers. Let's find out who's sick. Ah, the only people that live here are sick. Merida, Flynn, and Hades all starting to show the telltale signs. They're starting to disappear just as Maleficent did. They're starting to disappear. How do I stop it? To understand the problem, and we start by speaking with Merida. before there's nothing left. Kind of sounds like how Minnie was in the beginning. Okay, we don't know where Merida is. Let's see if we can locate her. I've kind of decorated this area. I definitely haven't uh okay. Yeah, she looks a little glitchy.
Yes! I need to talk to you.
Everything that makes me me is disappearing.
Oh dear.
Yeah, Emma's a bot. We were we had a robot. I don't feel like I could hit a bullseye from a yard away. Forget about climbing the Crone's Tooth. What the heck is that? I haven't seen Brave in like 10 million years. Oh my gosh, the bots, you know? The bots are out. It's the morning, okay? Let our coffee kick in. We'll fix this together. Have you noticed anything strange lately? Something strange did happen. It started when I saw this funny whirlwind in the bind. I got too close to it because all of a sudden I started to feel odd. There's no use yapping about it. Follow me.
You don't be afraid, dearie. I wouldn't hurt a guppy.
Oh. Oh. Didn't we have something like this before? In the first part?
There's always something happening here, isn't there?
I remember there was something that happened up here. Probably.
Oh, you don't
I
say.
don't want to get too close. The winds are fierce. Did you see that? At the heart of the storm, something's starting to come out of the whirlwind. It's a snippet, a bunch of snippets. Catch them before they get away.
You know where to find me.
Oh. Okay, there's black ones. That's new, right? We haven't had that color yet. How many do I have to get? One more. I don't know how many. Somebody said there's new parts to unlock. I'm so scared I probably don't have enough to unlock any new parts, but pick up the mysterious page. Okay. Bring it to Merida. That's odd. You found this at the center of the whirlwind. Oh my, looking into it, I feel funny. More funny than you are already feeling. It reminds me of me and must be connected to me somehow. I think it's a part of me and a part of my story. I see my mom and myself. I'm saying I'm sorry. I'm telling her that I want her back and that I love her. And then all of a sudden she's hugging me and holding me close. That was the day I realized our destinies are in our hands. I can't believe I nearly lost this. Okay, so maybe she's normal now. That was easy.
Brilliant.
Go check on Flynn. Don't tell him. And if you could catch those snippets flying around and restore my story to the Lore Keeper's pages. So that might be a new puzzle to
Anyone
do
see
in
the
the...
missing arrow?
What? Winnie the Pooh? Why does it just say Winnie the Pooh? Flynn was down here. I guess I don't know where he is now. He's over here. Yeah, see, like, I have some of this started to be decorated, but not really. Oh, great. He's got it too.
Ha ha. There you are.
Ugh, something is wrong with the veil. There's some sort of sickness sweeping over the valley, and you're being erased. I thought it was bad news. How do we stop it? We need to find your mysterious whirlwind. And a missing piece. We need a page from his story, probably. What part of me is missing? A part of your brain, probably.
Go on.
Okay. So we have to find...
See this again soon,
It's
okay?
somewhere over here. I always felt like it was weird that when we find Merida, she's down there and Flynn was up here. When... I don't know, their colors just don't match. Oh, well, I see it right over here. I wonder if this is why they haven't been able to fix the spawning issues in these areas. Because they were planning to do this and knew that they couldn't have stuff in the way. Like vacuums. This is so loud for me. Hopefully it's not as loud for you. Okay. What am I supposed to do? Yes. Do that. Last time we just sort of stood here. Snippets are coming out again. Catch them.
Nice talking to you.
Oh, they're black frog. Oh. I never claimed to be good at this. Where... Oh my god. Ow. Oh. How far are these things gonna go? Oh my god. Why are they so hard? Oh, I forgot we have to, like, spin sometimes. Oh, that helped. It's been so long since I've done any snippet. I feel like this is not... shouldn't be this hard. Oh my god! I mean, we're nailing the spinning. It's just not getting us anywhere. There we go. Jesus. There's his page. Well, at least Emma, the potential bot, did follow us. I'll take it. She got us to double digits. Okay, not a letter. When I look at it, I see something. What do you see? It's all cloudy. Maybe it needs scrubbing. It's a magical kind of cloudy. It's something is definitely happening. I'm tied to a chair. There's a blonde girl. Yeah. That would make sense. It holds the day I met Rapunzel. I feel different. We fixed him. I feel like myself again, and I'm not disappearing anymore. That moment with Rapunzel changed everything. I can't believe I almost lost it. You can call me Eugene. Eugene is a terrible name. Now that I feel better, maybe you ought to check in on Hades. He's a hothead, and if he starts disappearing, maybe try catching more of these new snippets.
Oh, nice day we're having, isn't it?
I wonder where they spawn. Like, are they just gonna be randomly around? I wonder if we should start clearing out the snippet traps, and maybe that will allow some of these new ones to show up in the snares. Because I'm all about, you know, working smarter, not harder. Maybe we should do that just in general. Yeah, this is the area I kind of turned into Alice's. I got my first 4K Dream Snap right here. That's so cute. Um, let's get some of these. Start heading towards what's his face. And this is the area I was gonna kind of turn into fairy area, but I didn't get very far. Should I pick up these inks while I'm standing here? Are these not upgraded? I'm not gonna upgrade them because I don't know how much lore we're gonna need, or storybook magic, or whatever the hell it's called. I did prepare a bunch of food, so I don't have to be slow. So I bet our whirlwind's gonna be over here for him. Because this is always where stuff kind of congregates. Let's clean it up so it has not obstructed, potentially. Okay, where is he? Oh, he's not even over here. He's way the hell down here.
Hey, how you doing?
Okay.
Looking everywhere for you.
I'm not feeling so hot, and for me that's saying something. We should downplay it, let him suffer. Whatever happened to Maleficent is happening to me. Wait, did we know this happened to Maleficent? Sounds like you've got it all figured out. It's kind of creepy how they always have an option to just kind of be a sycophant for Hades. Unless you want to get demoted, you better figure this out. Okay, let's try to solve it. Okay, I think I know how to fix it. I found a strange whirlwind. Okay, now that you mention it, I did see something like that. Okay, if we have to walk all the way over there, I'm gonna be annoyed. Maybe it'll be down in the first trial area. Probably over here, if I had to guess. Nope. Wrong. Is it in here? No. The day that this came out last year, I got a migraine from playing in this area specifically. The really orange one. Like, not this one, but the one we just walked through. And I haven't really played in this area unless it's been dark outside since. So, hopefully that doesn't happen, because that was painful. It's just so bright. It's beautiful, but I also got a migraine from Alice too. There's like a screen when you go into the Alice realm, when you first unlock that, there was just like this whole screen of magenta, and it just instantly gave me a migraine. Like, why? Why did that happen? Try throwing a fireball at it. Yeah. He doesn't want to do that. Did you see that? I think something's flying out of there. And it's gonna be the black demon snippets, I'm assuming. I hope we don't have to chase after these ones. Where are they? Did they go? Huh? Catch the shadowy demon snippets. I didn't even see them. Where are they? Oh no. Do we have a glitch? Okay, let's see if they're out here somewhere. Are they these ones? I mean, these are just the normal ones. That was not one. Well, we might have encountered a glitch. I wonder... Let's try going in and then going back out. Okay. Back out. Are they like up? Oh no. I wonder if we just reload the game. Let's just reload. Well, the only thing that kind of worked was going in here and coming back out. Oh no! I don't know what to do. Maybe we'll just try reloading the game. Save. Return to title. It wouldn't be Disney Dreamlight Valley without some bugs. Assuming that's what we have. It's upsetting. I can't believe they didn't change the splash screen. Like, even this isn't different. I guess because not everyone has the DLC, maybe? Well, this is a bummer if we're not going to be able to progress past this. I guess we just walk around. Maybe we'll find them out in the wild somewhere. Maybe they just ran away. I know these ones are just different colored because they're affected by one of my snare trap things. But I imagine the ones that we're looking for are, like, literally black. I can't believe this has happened. We can also go to the lore keeper and see if we can do any of those puzzle things. It's such a bummer. When you take a whole day off work and your game's glitched. I also want to see if there's any new crafting recipes. They're not like in our... Can I open this? No. Thought I couldn't eat for a minute. Okay, everything looks fine in here. Okay. So we need 10 of these. 10 birds. These are all new, right? Do we have enough for this one? Oh god. I have to remember how to do this. It's been so long. I did really like this addition to the game. It is cute. It really surprised me. So they did like a survey, community survey, and everybody said they wanted Winnie the Pooh. I definitely did not vote for Winnie the Pooh. I don't even really think of Winnie the Pooh as being Disney. Has it always been Disney? Or is it like Pixar where they bought it? I have no idea, but just not on my radar is like... The one they most recently set out, like, you had to put your age in there, and obviously I'm old as the hills. And they asked specifically, like, based on your age, they asked you about certain IPs and which ones you would want. And I didn't want any of the ones that they suggested. I was like, I don't want any of those. But I feel like I've not really wanted any of the things that they've given us, but yet I've been happy to have them. So maybe it doesn't really matter. Maybe I'll just like it anyway. So I know we can make specifically different colored uh guys at our crafting bench too. So I might be able to, even though we don't have this many, I might be able to go make enough to do them. Okay, we can definitely do this one. This looks like it's an edge. Be kind of in the middle. There we go. Always do the edges first. I can't really tell, again, where this one goes. It's an edge of some kind. I'm gonna muscle it. That. I don't know where that goes. That's really weird. There we go. Oh. Some of these pieces are diabolical. What has like a weird lump like that? Ew. These pieces are just nasty. You'd think the stem would be obvious. Where's the stem? Okay, we gotta get these pieces out of here. Get out of here. Okay, this looks like it's somewhere over here. Yeah. Just know that little sliver is just so helpful. There we go. There we go. Hmm. Yeah, down there. Okay, now we know where the weird oval goes. And now we know where this weird thing goes. Oh. Well, no wonder I couldn't figure that out, that it was the stem. Okay, what did we get from that? Like a casket or something creepy? A box. Okay. Don't we have this already? I swear that I already have this. What is this? Looks like Monsters Inc. doors? I mean, apparently it's Alice in Wonderland something. I wonder if that's a rug. And then a generic looking present. Okay, now let's go look at those. Oh, it's so tiny. We'll see if it actually has storage in it. We'll look at these two. Does it have storage? It doesn't! Ugh. Pointless. You don't want it. I mean, it'd be too small to really have anything good anyway. Is that a black one? Come here. So bad at this. Come here. Did I get it? Well, I guess we'll hang out where demon things are. The other thing I want to do is look at a craft bench and see if there's new anything in there. Because one thing I was severely disappointed about in this DLC is not enough fences, not enough pathing, not enough anything really. Like the crafting part of it was not fleshed out at all. Okay, I can just straight up make them. So, will that count? If I just make them? No, I have to catch those specific ones. Oh my god. This is abuse. Okay. Is there no new stuff? Oh my god. Fence and paving. Fence and paving. I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe there's something that we get that is yet. The other thing that was missing was we couldn't craft those L couches. So let's see if we can do those now. Where are they? It would be very Gameloft of them to have just removed. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. They were right here. Were they not? Oh my god. Oh my god. They just took them out. They're like, oh, they'll just forget about them. They'll forget about them. Don't even worry about it. They'll just forget about them. They won't make them. You can't be mad that you can't make them if you just forget about them. This is devastating. Um, let's go back. I don't know what else we could do unless we completely exit out of the game. See if there's like a patch or something. I highly doubt they're patching anything this quickly. We can check Reddit. We can check Reddit and see if anyone's bitched about it yet. Can I look up? How far can I look up? Hep, hep, hep. I don't know what else to do. We look at it from a distance. Okay. Ooh, my game like wanted to crash for a minute. Let's quit. Take a little looky look at Steam. Peruse Reddit for un momento. Oh yeah, my work bestie who's been gone since Thursday is like, "Where are you today?" You're the one who didn't show up to work for 3 days. Storm of Stories glitched. Here it is. Yup, me too. This is bleak. I'm on the Hades part. Okay. Well, it's not just us. Oh, people are sad that the store doesn't have any male outfits. Xbox is reporting long update times. Oh, the other thing we could do is check the store, the Scrooge stores. See if there's anything new in there. Okay, I'm completely restarting. You never know. You never know. I've never been just completely bugged like this where I couldn't progress, especially on an update day. Like, normally I just grind it. Like, I literally just grind it as fast as I can. Okie dokie. Yeah, let's check the Scrooge shop.
I'm so glad we met.
Oh, holy crap. Ooh, new wallpaper.
Greetings, neighbor.
Super cute.
Whoa!
That looks a lot like the
Bye-bye.
cottage in Sleeping Beauty. The fairies when they hide her in the woods. That's kind of what their wallpaper looks like. Okay. One new thing. We'll go to Eternity Isle as well. It's so crazy. I clean up in here like every day and it still looks like this. Still just has debris everywhere.
Good thing the cold doesn't
Oh,
bother
do
me.
we have this? Nope, this is new.
Uh-huh.
A hideout swing. No wallpapers. That's it. Okay. Be nice if we would have had some clothes or something, but nope.
I wonder if the valley has haunted places.
Yeah, it definitely has a cursed place. It doesn't have a haunted place, but it definitely has a cursed place. And it's called Storybook Vale. Where was that we needed to be? Area Plains. This is really disappointing. Wonder if maybe they're just out and about somewhere and we'll run across them. They're not even appearing in the whirlwind at all. That can't be a good sign. Guess let's just like take one sweep. I don't really have any other ideas. I mean, I guess a good reason to wait to play this. But like I said, I normally don't have any issue. Oh my god. What is that? That's just like a very cursed snippet. Why it look like that? That's so sad. I want Maleficent. I want to see her. I guess we need hella white snippets too if we're gonna make the black ones that we need. Because who knows if they're even gonna spawn. Hmm. Who's my snippet catcher? I don't know if she is or not. Yeah, she is. She is my snippet catcher. So sad. See if anybody's got a fix on Reddit yet.
You know, I really like
People on Microsoft Store can't even access the game at all today. Tried uninstalling it. I untracked and tracked the new quest, and that didn't work. So I decided to restart the game, and now I've caught them. Well, we did that. But we did that. We did that. It didn't work. Okay, where are the white snippets? Does it tell us that? Does it tell us where the white snippets are every day? No, it does not. I don't know where they come up under. Why is foraging at 98%? Hello? It says I've never gotten wallpaper. I have like stacks of wallpaper. Okay. Okay. Okay, it might be under crafting. Just looking for a white snippet. Nope. I guess you just play it by ear every time. Okay. They're not here. They're not here. Not here. White snippet. Not on the beach. I feel like most of the time they're on the beach. For me, anyway. I don't think I've ever seen them here. Hello? Watch, just all snippets just don't work anymore. That's my fault. I should have really stocked up on the white ones before this update. What the heck? There's just crap laying around. Okay, this is the last place they can be. Unless we just somehow missed seeing them. This place is a disaster area. You can tell I needed mist the other day. Crap everywhere. I don't see any snippets.
Green light. My river.
Can't make white snippets. Okay, I can use... I have all kinds of dust or whatever. See how many we need. Then I walked away on autopilot. What I've done in the past is just like take a picture and then make what I needed. See if anybody else is reporting this. People are already unlocking other things. This is upsetting. Maybe it is just us. It's like such an old person thing to do. Take a picture of your screen because you're too lazy. Also, I have no short-term memory, so that's not really my fault. Will it let me? Yeah, it won't let me. Okay. I swear to God we have this stupid thing right here already. Let's grab everything we can. Oh, ooh, there's another black one. But not a demon. But that's a good sign. This is the first ones we've seen that didn't come out of that tornado thing. I wonder if they say where they come from. They're under crafting? No. They don't say. Okay. Okay, cool. Okay. So, of all of these kind of lackluster things, which one do I want the most? I don't really care, it looks like. It looks like I don't care. Are they here? Refined material. Okay. I need 20 red birds. Good thing we have plenty of whatever this crap is called. Watch me run out. And 10 of the birds. And 20 more of the birds. Black ones. And then 5 blue demons. Blue? Blue or green? Let's make a little bit of everything. Make 5 blue and green. Okay. I think that gives us enough to do the... No, we still need 10... We need 10 black frogs. Then we have enough to do the first page. Oh, I forgot we had Merida with us. And Hades trying to follow us around for the quests that we can't do. Ooh, she gave us an extra. Nice, nice. I'll take them. I like how it chirps when you pick them up. Okay. Reorder stories, since it's all we can do right now. Okay, whatever. Probably put these down here. Hello? I mean, that definitely looks like it goes somewhere. There we go. Gaslight me. Ah. Not that one. It's not an edge. It's kind of very satisfying how triangular this one is. I don't know what this is. I don't know where this one goes. Weird purple color. Yeah, we do have puzzles in this game. This is something they did just for this expansion, but everybody really likes it. Like, everyone I've heard talk about it, like, hopes that they'll continue it. So, I bet we'll probably see it in the next DLC too. I feel like it probably doesn't take a lot of effort from the devs either. They're gonna give the people what they want. I mean, this... There we go. Nice. What did we get for this? Oh, I think it's a rug. A rug or a motif, perhaps? This is like the least exciting reward. I love Lady and the Tramp. Anything with a dog. So cute. Kind of looks... Oh, it's bottom. Hello? Sometimes it's forgiving, sometimes it's not. We're gonna be ahead of the game on these. That's so cute. Her little face. Hmm. Some weird shapes going on here. Very, like, intestinal. I don't know if I like that. Oh, there we go. I should have known. That's gotta be that one. Okay, and now Robin Hood. I can't even tell what that's supposed to be. We need a corner. We need a corner to start this one. Yeah. I can't tell what is up and what is down on some of these. See, this is like gotta be a side. Maybe. This one's a hard one for some reason. I think it goes this way, but I'm not positive. I don't like that one. Okay, we don't know where those go. Oh, we didn't have that one yet either. It's gotta be up here. Oh, duh. Hmm. This looks like it's down here. Okay. Hmm. Another crown goes up here. Should be easy to find this piece, you would think. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, let's check out this stuff. Replenish. Whatever. Whatever. Let's look at this stuff. We've got this guy. The oh, the rug is indoor only, which is weird because we have other rugs that are not. Oh, it's a flag. That's why you have to hang it on the wall. Well, we can look at it. Hey, none of them seem to be interactable. I mean, it's cute, but we already have like a bunch of archery targets. It's just kind of like, okay. Since the update before this one, obviously, my game has been raining a lot, which is fine, I guess, but it's just odd. I know other people have had that problem, but I haven't until now. I hear it ticking. That was weird. I guess we can go inside. This is my house on this map. Where do we have some wall space? I think we do in here. Yeah, we have all kinds of wall space. Yeah. There's the swing. I don't think the swing is new. I think that might have been part of the Peter Pan thing. That's the map, or the flag we got. Big whoop. I'm so bitter. I'm so bitter. Why are we glitched? I want Maleficent. She's my favorite. Okay, let's just keep looking for these guys, I guess. Wait, that was weird. He just like shot out of nothing. He's not even a different color. He doesn't even go here. Let's see. Let me refresh Reddit. So sad. Shadow Demon Snippets having a bug. Oh, here's someone complaining about the outfits in the shop. See, this is why I say don't impulse buy. Because then people will influence you and they'll say, they're actually really ugly, didn't you know? And then you'll be like, okay, you're right. You're right, bestie, it is ugly. I absolutely hate the outfits. Dresses with armor. No one wants that. And no male outfits. Yeah, I do agree. But I will say, like, I get it. We're nice people, and so we want to advocate for everybody who plays this game. But do games that are primarily played by males advocate for female outfits in their games? I mean, I guess they do, but for different reasons. They want to play with booba outfits. Um, and so maybe that is why they might advocate for something like that, but I do agree. I want the guys to have outfits. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I do think that's really rude. That should just be default for all games. You know, they should be providing that. I just thought maybe we'd find some snippets lost in the netherworld over here, but I guess not. Whoop. Hoping we just accidentally catch one and they're just like invisible or something. Hiya and a hiya. I'm so sad. What if we talk to Hades?
Yeah.
Nope, we can't even talk to him about the quest. We can talk to him like generically. Hmm. Now I can't find that person's post. I'm playing the same game. I'm not seeing the update. A lot of people just having problems getting the update, which, like I said, I had that problem before and I had to like clear my Steam cache and it's a very upsetting. That person? Oh, there we go. No, that's a different one. Reddit is so glitchy sometimes, though. Three upvotes, but no solutions. Alright, well, I'm gonna restart one more time. There is another thing I could do today. I haven't done any of the Sims 4 event that's going on, so I could do that. I've been very unmotivated to play it. It's like the Back to Nature event or whatever that they have. Because I think the rewards are kind of like bleh. But I mean, it's stupid not to do it because it's just like free stuff. It's just free stuff. So, like, why not? Okay, someone else commented they are also having the same issue. There's three of us. There's dozens of us. Someone said they got a new chest in Scrooge's. I wonder what that's about. Other thing though is I haven't updated any of my mods for The Sims 4, so we'd probably get in there and it'd be cursed. It'd be broken to hell. No black demons. Wait, was this always here? Was that always over there? I remember this one. I don't remember that one. Very, very, very disappointing. Well, I mean, we all kind of feel the same way about Gameloft. You know, we love this game, but they disappoint us a lot. So, I guess it's not surprising. Holy crap. We got a bunch of crap. We need to go dump off our inventory management, I guess. There are more puzzles we could do, but I just feel like what's the point at this point? It's just not that big of a deal. The things are not that good. This is my little storage island. I feel like it could be more aesthetically pleasing. But you know, it works. It is convenient. I'll give it that. One day I'll redo it and I'll make it really cool. I feel like I have to like find somebody who did theirs and copy it. Like, I'm not that creative. Sometimes it's just overwhelming. What was the other stuff we have? Probably half the stuff I won't keep. Try to hoard everything, but a lot of this stuff we just do not need any more of. I have flowers. All these chests are flowers, and they're ordered Ragey Bev. So, like, all my red and orange go here. That's a yellow. I don't feel like we need any of this other stuff. Probably just sell it. The marble.
This whole place is like an oasis.
Yeah, we can probably just sell the rest of that. Well, at least we know Hades is going to follow us around until we're able to do this quest.
How's it going?
The other thing. This is where I keep all my seeds. My farm island. disappointing. Okay, there's 4 of us now, all commiserating on Reddit. Okay, what do we have left for puzzles? We need 15 frogs, 5 blue demons, 10 blue demons. That's actually not very much stuff at all. Oh, but we still have 2 more on these. Okay, old lady it. Oops. Okay. Oop. Hear that ticking again. Oh, is it just this? No. It's like a ticking over here. Trying to drive us insane. I mean, it's working. Just make a game that doesn't work. And that will drive us all insane. Okay. 15 black demons. And then 5 of the green demons. And then, oh my gosh, that's so many. 15 frog. And then another 5 green. And then another 5 green. And like 15 more of these. Actually, I think we need like 40 of them, to be honest. Okay, let's just see where that gets us. Not trying to use all my dust. Okay. We'll do this one first. Already I didn't make. I wonder if I made green and I was supposed to make blue. It's so hard to tell what color they are. Remember when I found out I was colorblind? Oh. Whatever. Oh, that goes right there. Okay. Some of these are some crazy shapes. Well, that's a teapot. We know that one. Hello. Oh, there's another teapot. Where's the other teapot? Okay, now this ugly thing has to go there. Yay, we got an ugly thing. And then we made the wrong color. And then we made the wrong color. We needed blue and not green. I mean, we can look. Oh, it's indoor only. Oh, that's actually a doorway. I can go look at it in my house. I think it's like a physical door. Like, so. R. I thought it was. Okay, maybe not. What? It's not even a door. Just like, why? Guys, this might be the worst update yet. This might be we all got taken for our money. Exceedingly, exceedingly upsetting. Not impressed. Not impressed. We needed blue, not green. We needed like 15 of them. Like how we took pictures and then I don't even care. We're just blindly making as many as we feel like. Nobody has time for math. Is Hades not following us anymore? Oh no, he's right there. It's like even he gave up. I'll take it. That's a 101 Dalmatians one. Ugly chair. This is such bullshit that it's costing us that many materials and it's something we already have. It's so cute, the little puppy cutout. Hmm. Hello? Hmm. That's a corner. Why? It's gotta be cursed. Okay, well that's definitely there. That's so cute. Hmm. I do not know. I need a tail. Not that kind of tail. That one. I feel like it's somewhere over here. There we go. Another puppy. That's so odd looking. Oops, that was it. Okay, on to Coco. I am curious of what this one is. Looks like a pile of leaves, but it's like glitter. Hello? Oh. Good thing we have this calming music so I don't like rage out about my game being broken. There we go. Oh, the music notes are cute. Oh, there's a flower thingy. Is there more than one flower thingy? Oh, yes, there is. Okay, this looks like a musical instrument. And there's where the other flower thingy goes. This is cursed looking. Um, oh, it's a skull. I didn't realize. I have seen Coco once. I do not even really remember it very well. Oh, the heart is a nose. That's cute. Okay. Next to the last. Just grind them out. It's gotta be like so close. Just muscle it. Just make it happen. Haha. Now, Incredibles, I love. The sequel, not so much. It's decent, but not my fave. That is like his face, yeah. Her leg. Gosh, so many fiddly pieces here. Where is Dash? Is this Dash? Yeah. That tells us where Violet is. There. And I kind of don't want to do this out of principle, but we have the frickin' stuff, so we might as well. Inside Out, also not a favorite. I mean, it's okay. It's too sad. Where does this go? It's gotta be like the middle, yeah. Hello. Oh, that's gotta be somewhere down here. Gosh, this bottom area is hard. They're not screwing around with the bottom area. Okay. It's gotta be over here. Okay, now it's coming together. Big triangle looking thing. Feel like I'm losing a puzzle. Steam. Okay, that's a person's feet. There we go. This goes there. There's another person's feet. I don't like that. I don't like that. The vibes of that piece are wrong. It's cursed. It's gotta be... There we go. Okay, that goes up there. We did it. We beat the game. That was the entire conclusion of the DLC. See if Reddit has found the answer. And then we'll look at our ugly garbage that we unlocked. I'm bitter. Okay. They didn't appear for me. I love waiting half a year for an update for it to break in the first 5 minutes. No new paths or fences. What a joke. Okay, someone's more bitter than me, but I love them and I love their energy. Paid the cost for a DLC for what we feels like a third of the content. She's spitting facts. For real, for real. I've restarted for a 4th time. Okay, so apparently we'll try restarting one more time. But let's go look at our ugly garbage that we never really wanted or asked for. Okay. Office chair. Oh, this is a rug, but we can put it outside. So there is potential. I don't like it. It looks weird. We can sit in the chair. I mean, that's more than what we've got. And this is not interactable in any way. So, like, why would we want it? And you'll notice that it did not unlock anything for the last puzzle that we did. Because, as I said, we already had that item. That was an item that already existed. In fact, I can show you exactly where it's at in my valley because I put it down already a long time ago. It's right over here. It do be right here. It already existed. It's right here. It's unbelievable. Yeah, I'm gonna go out and say do not give them your money for anything because it's literally crazy. It's literally crazy behavior. Okay, we'll do what they say and start one more time because we've restarted just once or twice. So maybe we need to restart the 4 times that they are recommending. I almost want to restart my whole computer, but I feel like that shouldn't have anything to do with it. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I'm getting cold. Properties. I wonder if you can like repair game. Isn't that an option? Isn't that a thing you can do? Manage. Uh, properties. Maybe I do a quick BRB. See if I can like repair, do something that makes this refresh in some way. Yeah, let's try that. And then if we come back and it's still not working, then we'll call it. And it's be a waste of a day for me. But we'll see. Alright, unfortunately, it is not working. So I guess we will just call it. I will restart my computer and stay updated on Reddit and see if they don't patch this, since it is completely game breaking and it's within the first 10 minutes of gameplay. So, I mean, I think we did good to stretch out the content to a 2-hour stream, but unfortunately, it just do be broken. So, no Maleficent today. Hopefully they fix it quickly. So, alright. Have a good day. Sorry that was so disappointing. But hopefully Gameloft fixes it. Alright. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.